All right, welcome everyone. Ready to really dig into finding your voice?
Yeah.
We're going deep with Stephen Covey's The Eighth Habit today.
Oh, yeah. And we've got Les Brown, too.
Exactly. His speech on stepping into your greatness, I think people will be surprised how well these two work together.
Absolutely. Like two sides of the same coin.
So, today's mission, we're going to extract those key principles for identifying and activating your unique talents, those things that make you, you.
And then we'll look at how to use them to make a real impact on the world.
Exactly. And just to hook you in, Covey starts with this story, it's actually true, from a Navy manual.
Oh, tell me about it.
It's about a battleship that's out there, and they think they see another ship. So they're hailing them, hey, move out of the way. But the other ship doesn't budge, and it turns out they're trying to order around a lighthouse.
Whoa. Okay, I see where this is going.
Covey's point is that there are these principles in life, these like lighthouses, that are constant. They don't change.
Unwavering, right.
Yeah, just like those beams of light guiding ships.
But in life, those beams are guiding us toward true greatness.
Exactly. Okay, let's dive into Covey's framework then. He highlights 4 key dimensions of human nature: body, mind, heart.
Don't forget spirit.
Oh, right, of course. And he really stresses that integrating all 4 is essential.
For finding your voice.
Yes, and inspiring others.
It's like, imagine a symphony orchestra.
Ooh, good one.
You need every instrument to create that full sound, right? Covey even defines voice as the intersection of talents, passion.
There's more to it, right?
Yeah, the world's needs and your conscience. That's where it gets really powerful.
Well, it makes total sense. It's not just being good at something. It's got to align with your heart.
Absolutely. But be warned,
Uh-oh.
Covey also points out 5, and he calls them metastasizing emotional cancers that can totally block us.
Emotional cancers. Okay, that's intense.
The first one, criticizing. Always finding fault with ourselves or others.
Ooh, that inner critic.
Yeah, that voice that says, you're not good enough.
Ugh, I know that voice.
It kills creativity, like trying to paint a masterpiece while someone's splashing gray paint all over it.
No kidding. So what's the next cancer?
Comparing. Think social media highlight reels. Everyone's life seems perfect.
Oh, yeah, that's a trap.
Big time. It steals our joy, makes us think we're always falling short, like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole.
We waste so much energy trying to be someone else.
Right, and then there's complaining.
Oh, I'm guilty of that one.
We all do it, but when it's constant, it's toxic. Makes you focus on what's wrong, not what's possible.
That's like a negativity vortex, hard to escape.
Exactly. Keeps us stuck feeling like victims.
I feel that. What are the last 2?
Competing for personal worth. That need to prove we're better than others.
Oh, man. That's tough. Our culture's all about competition.
It is, and it hurts us. Stops us from connecting genuinely, from celebrating each other.
We're playing this game with no real winner.
And lastly, contending.
Contending.
Always arguing, needing to be right.
More than just healthy debate.
Way more. It shuts down communication. It's like building walls instead of bridges.
Powerful image. So criticizing, comparing, complaining, competing for worth, contending, these are serious roadblocks.
Absolutely. But Covey's point is to be aware of them. Not to never feel them, but to choose how we respond.
I like that. Awareness is key. All right, now let's hear from Les Brown. His energy is contagious, and his story is mind-blowing.
This man was labeled educable, mentally retarded as a kid. Think about that.
Wow. And he became a motivational speaker.
One of the best, but it wasn't easy. There's this story. He was in a classroom waiting for another student, and the teacher, Mr. Washington, asks Les to solve a math problem on the board.
Oh, no.
And Les, he felt so defeated, he just says, "Sir, I can't. I'm educable, mentally retarded."
Heartbreaking.
Right. Someone's opinion became his reality.
It happens so easily, especially when we're young.
But Mr. Washington, he looks right at Les and says, "Don't you ever say that again. Someone's opinion of you doesn't have to be your reality."
Wow, chills. What a turning point.
Huh. It was. Les started questioning those limitations.
Like waking up from a dream.
Exactly. And Mr. Washington, he didn't just challenge that belief. He saw something in Les.
That's so important, having someone believe in you when you don't even believe in yourself.
It's like they hold up a mirror to your best self. And Les, he went on to achieve amazing things.
Well, I bet it wasn't all sunshine and roses.
Right. He's very open about failure being part of the journey. He says you have to fail your way to success.
I like that. We're always told to avoid failure, but he embraces it.
And get this, 8 out of 10 millionaires have been bankrupt at some point.
Seriously. That changes things.
Success isn't a straight line. It's about learning, adapting, resilience.
It's like a dance with missteps along the way.
Now, have you heard of possibility blindness?
I've heard the term, but explain it.
It's when we focus so much on what we lack that we can't see the opportunities right in front of us.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Les struggled with it too.
Yeah.
He was so focused on his tough upbringing, he couldn't see his own gifts.
Like wearing blinders?
Yes. And those blinders, they're often our own limiting beliefs.
So how do we break free?
Les says, make your move before you're ready.
Whoa, isn't that risky?
It might seem that way.
Oh, yeah.
But waiting till you're ready can lead to never doing anything.
Procrastination nation.
He tells this story about his talk show getting canceled. He was devastated, went back to motivational speaking.
Went back to his comfort zone.
Yeah, for like 10 years. He calls it parking. He got off the highway of his dreams.
That must have been tough to realize.
It was. He saw a friend on PBS and realized he was playing it safe. Regretted letting fear hold him back.
So he's saying take the leap even when it's scary.
Exactly. Trust your gut. You can always adjust course along the way.
That takes courage.
Big time.
Yeah.
And that connects to the hunger Les talks about, that drive that pushes you past fear.
It's about action, even when you don't know the outcome.
Right. Now, Les is big on detoxifying your life. Surround yourself with the right people.
He talks about nourishing people versus toxic people.
Yeah, nourishing people are like sunshine. They lift you up.
Toxic people are like energy vampires.
Totally. Be mindful of who you let into your inner circle.
Great advice. So we've got integrating those 4 dimensions of ourselves, overcoming those emotional cancers.
Embracing failure, finding those nourishing people.
And taking action even when we're scared.
Don't forget that hunger. It's about believing in yourself.
This is so good. But we've got to take a quick break. Back in a flash with more wisdom from Covey and Brown. All right, we're back, and man, there's so much to unpack here. Before the break, we were talking about surrounding ourselves with nourishing people.
Right, but what about when we run into those inevitable no's in life? Those rejections that can feel so personal?
Yeah, those can sting. How do we handle that?
Les Brown, he's got some seriously good advice for that. He says, make no your vitamin.
No as a vitamin. Okay, I'm listening.
It's like instead of seeing rejection as defeat, see it as a step towards success.
So each no is like a little boost of resilience.
Exactly. It's pushing you closer to that yes that's waiting for you.
I like that. And maybe sometimes those no's are actually steering us in the right direction.
Oh, absolutely. Not every opportunity is meant for us.
It's about trusting the journey, I guess.
Trusting the process. And speaking of that, Les is big on having that inner fire, that hunger for your goals.
He's got that story, right? About applying for that DJ job over and over.
Yeah, he kept going back, even joked that he was hoping someone had died so he could get the spot.
Wow, that's dedication.
He knew what he wanted and no wasn't going to stop him.
And he made it. Persistence pays off.
It really does. You know, this connects back to Covey and those 4 dimensions.
Oh, yeah.
When Les talks about detoxifying your life, it's not just about people. It's about creating an environment where your whole self can thrive.
Mind, body, heart, spirit.
All of it. We need nourishment on all those levels.
So how do we actually detoxify? Sounds kind of overwhelming.
It's about awareness, really. Yeah. Looking at the influences in your life.
Like the people we spend time with.
Exactly. And the information we consume, what we read, what we watch, is it feeding us or draining us?
It's like taking stock of our mental diet. Maybe setting some boundaries.
Boundaries are huge. Protecting your energy, making space for the good stuff.
So it's not just a one-time thing. It's an ongoing process.
Totally. Like a regular cleanse for your mind and soul.
Makes sense. Okay, I want to circle back to Covey for a sec. He talks about this interesting communication technique. It's from Native American tradition.
Oh, yeah, the Indian talking stick.
Oh, that's it? What's that all about?
Imagine a group of people, things are getting heated, no one's really listening.
Classic communication breakdown.
Right. So you bring in the stick, could be any object, really, and only the person holding it can speak.
Everyone else has to listen.
Intently.
Yep.
No interrupting. And here's the key. Before you can share your own thoughts, you got to summarize what the other person said.
Whoa, that forces you to really hear them.
Exactly. Turns that defensive energy into something collaborative.
We could all use a little more of that in our lives.
Covey actually thinks this technique helped shape the U.S. Constitution.
Seriously. That's amazing, the power of listening.
It's huge. And think about it. When we truly listen to others, we open ourselves up to new ideas.
But expand our own perspective.
And that creates more space for our own voice to emerge.
Like adding more colors to our palette.
Now, before we wrap up, there's one more thought from Covey I want to leave you with. He asks, if you died right now, what would die with you?
Oh, wow. That's deep.
It's about legacy. What dreams are we holding back? What potential are we leaving untapped?
Makes you want to seize the day.
Right. Life's short, let's make it count.
Okay, we're back, and I got to say, that question has been stuck in my head ever since.
It's a powerful one, isn't it? Really makes you think about what matters.
It does. But we've covered so much. The 4 dimensions, those emotional cancers, taking action, finding your tribe. Where do we even start putting it all together?
Well, Covey has this idea, the trim tab.
Trim tab.
Yeah, it's this little rudder that controls the angle of a much bigger rudder on a ship. So by adjusting this tiny thing, you change the direction of the whole vessel.
Ah, I see where you're going with this.
It's a metaphor for how our small actions can create huge change.
So it's not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about taking those small steps now.
Exactly. Like, remember Les Brown's story about that teacher? Just one person believing in him made all the difference.
It's like a domino effect.
Right. You never know what impact your actions might have.
That makes you think about all the times I've held back thinking I wasn't ready.
Oh, I know that feeling.
But Les Brown says, jump in before you feel ready.
He's got a point. Waiting can just be fear disguised as preparation.
And he's right. Sometimes you just got to trust the process, figure it out as you go.
You know, Les also said, don't let anyone tell you what you can't do, especially if they haven't done it themselves.
Love that. It's like they don't know your potential.
Exactly. Tune out those outside voices. Listen to your gut.
It's about remembering we each have our own unique path, our own way of contributing.
And that's beautiful. Finding your voice isn't a finish line, it's a journey.
With twists and turns along the way.
Absolutely. Ups and downs, failures and triumphs.
But the key is to keep moving forward.
With that passion, that purpose, that hunger that Les talks about.
So well said. Okay, as we wrap up this deep dive, let's review. Integrate those 4 dimensions: body, mind, heart, spirit.
Fight those emotional cancers, criticizing, comparing, all that.
Embrace failure. It's just part of the process. And find your people, those who nourish and support you.
Take action, even when it's scary.
And remember, a no is just a vitamin, pushing you toward the right.
Yes. And as you go out there and live this, remember Covey's question. If you died right now, what would die with you?
Let that question be your guide. Live with purpose, express your gifts, make your mark on the world. It's been an amazing conversation. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into finding your voice.